Night Sports reporting. It's a 15-yard penalty. First down. You know nothing about sports.
Nuts prod on the beat.
And we're live.
America.
And we're back.
Yo,
Once again.
what's up, man?
Not much.
We got football back.
Yeah, we got football back, and and this is going to lead into y'all statements. I'm disappointed by the Clippers, but go ahead, K, man.
All right, so thank you for giving me this 5-minute time slot to say my piece. And this is just about me. And as you can see, I have notes because unlike Frank Costanza, I don't want to lose my train of thought. Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Jerry Stiller, man, one of the greats.
Rest
Really.
in peace. All right, so here it is. This is a football podcast, and we normally talk about football, but we're sports fans. Right. My first love is basketball. Yeah. As Sean likes to say, "Oh, you're a DC dude." Well, DC dudes love basketball. I love it. So at the end of last week's pod, we brought up basketball, and I foolishly made a statement that said, "Oh, don't worry about it. Clippers going to win the whole thing."
Yeah, you did.
So, and then the stuff that happened this week transpired, and it made me to think. And so, in thinking, I have not loved basketball for approximately 4 years. Since January 3rd, 2016, around 12 o'clock p.m., when we heard that Kevin Durant was signing with the Golden State Warriors. Joining that team made it unfun for me because we knew it was a foregone conclusion. And so at that point, I looked at basketball on a cursory level. Just like, hey, I follow the Rockets. Hey, okay, whatever. Mm-hmm. So not following the NBA, that comment I made was stupid. And the reason why I picked that, because I wasn't fully engaged. So I let people who I don't like, that being the NBA media, tell me, oh, the Clippers are going to win this. So I'm like, oh, yeah, the Clippers are going to win. I don't care. Mm-hmm. Because that's my frame of thinking since 2016. But deep down in my gut, I knew better. And what I mean by I knew better is, Kawhi Leonard is a very, very good basketball player. And Kawhi Leonard has been Finals MVP in 2014 and 2019. But the structure of those teams were vastly different than the structure of the 2019-20 Clippers. In 14 and 19, he had dogs. Hungry dogs. He had possibly the greatest coach of all time, if not top 3, in 2014, and a really good coach in Nick Nurse. He had the best front office those years.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
So, but this team that he was on had none of that. Then let's go to the second banana on the team, who I like to call, and I won't say it publicly because we don't cuss, Paul George. And I have a nice little nickname for him.
And it ain't playoff P.
The people in the media hype this guy up or bring him up because they feel sorry for him for what happened to him at USA Basketball and to his ankle and that gruesome injury.
Broke his, yeah.
And I understand that. But let's not forget he's weak. And there's a whole myriad of reasons why he's weak, but he's weak. And then another factor was Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers is one of the best individuals working in the NBA. He is a vastly overrated basketball coach. 2008, he had 2 Hall of Famers and Paul Pierce and a team full of dogs in a really good front office, and they won a championship. But now he is the only coach in NBA history to blow a 3-1 lead 3 times. 3 times.
3 times.
And it's always about players. Doc, for him to win, it has to be perfect like it was in 08. And NBA coaches know it's not perfect. Then let's go to the front office. The front office is run by one Lawrence Frank. Lawrence Frank, at best, is a associate head coach, but he is a head of basketball operation. That ginger thought that Reggie Jackson, one of the Morris twins, the same Morris twins who, when they were in college, lost to VCU in the Elite Eight.
In Kansas,
and then the team also has, let's not forget, Lemon Pepper Lou.
Let me politely interrupt you for just 1 second. So we can say Ginger, but we can't say Paul George's nickname.
No. Because Ginger is said in jest. It's a little bit of hate, but it's in jest too.
Okay.
Some people call themselves Ginger. I can't.
I just wanted to be clear. That's all.
Yeah. And then one of my favorite players who came up with the Rockets is Pat Bev. But Pat, ever since he went in Hollywood, like to run his mouth so much. Pat is a dog, but then he just got Hollywood-fied, if that's even a word.
Hollywood-fied?
Yes.
If it's...
And lastly, the last thing that I should have known, me, Brandon, and Sean are IT. We have known each other. This year would make 15 years. That team is owned by Steve Ballmer. Steve Ballmer was a terrible CEO at Microsoft. This man brought us Microsoft ME, Windows 8, and Windows 8.1.
Hey, Kate, man. Hey, look. If we can edit this and put in that clip of Steve Ballmer running out on the stage for Microsoft, whoa, get up, everybody.
That right there. I should have known better. So I'm making this rant, or I don't know, soliloquy or mission statement to say, for this pod and for going forward in anything sports related, I will do better. I must be better. Because once again, this is about me. I mentioned the team, but this was about me and my callous way of just saying, oh, this team's going to win based on individuals who I don't respect. And I respect myself more. So to our fans, the 11 fans that we got another one. I will do better as an observer of sports. Thank you.
All right, B. Do your 5 minutes, B.
Hey, it's not gonna take me more like 5 seconds, because he pretty much covered. It's amazing. It's amazing the same sentiments that we had brewing on the inside, except I knew all along what was going to happen. But one person that you left out in Boston that deserves the credit for that championship more than anybody else in that organization is Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau was the architect of one of the greatest defensive teams that we've seen play the game of basketball. Doc Rivers owes that championship to Tom Thibodeau. Ever since those two have separated, Doc has been trash. He's taken ordinary talent and elevated it, but never elevated it to the point where that talent could compete for an NBA championship. Hence the 3 blown 3-1 series leads: Orlando, Houston, and now the Clippers. Doc, you're overrated. Love you as a person, love you as a fellow black man, but you're overrated. Get you some help. I'm done.
Good point, B.
I remember Tom Thibodeau because he was the number 1 assistant for the Houston Rockets in 2007, and then and then Danny Ainge gave him a truckload of money, and I was upset because I knew how good he was. Yeah. And now we didn't win because the curse of T-Whack, but
Hey, you know what? He was there in '08 in that series, in that blown series lead in Orlando.
Yes.
I mean, not
Yes.
'08, but '03.
Yes. And he's never got past the first round because remember, I remember this because I'm blessed and cursed with a long memory. When they were up 3-1, he said, "Hey, so this is what it feels like to be in the second round." And then they went out and lost 3 straight.
Hey, look, I'm gonna
Yep.
tell you like this, man. Then we're gonna go to football, and I don't know if one of y'all sent me the tweet from your boy, man, talking about Patrick Bell. Yeah, I guess I can add you onto this ticket of me going to Cancun. Who was that,
Dame.
man?
That was
Dame.
Yeah,
Lillard.
Damian Lillard.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
And CJ got in on the fun too, and
that's crazy.
and rightfully so.
And this didn't
Um,
used to be, and Pat didn't used to be like this. Pat
no,
would talk to your face.
right. Pat, when he was with the Rockets, I loved him. Even though I didn't like the Rockets, I loved Pat because he always competed,
He
always
played
competed,
defense.
and he was humble and about his stuff. He knew who he was. He knew his capabilities on the court, and he was just a dog. But now, just like Kennedy said, his head can't fit in the arena now because he's flanked by wannabe superstars. Aside from Kawhi, I still consider him a superstar. He had his choke moment. He had his coming to Jesus moment in Game 7. He learned from his mistake of leaving Toronto and begging Paul George to join him. He learned from that mistake. He
And
learned
leaving
from
that front office.
yeah, exactly. And leaving a real Robin in Kyle Lowry.
No Philly.
You know,
Stand
that
up.
Kyle Lowry does not get he does not get the respect that he deserves. I remember when Kyle Lowry was on the Houston Rockets back when we were battling in the playoffs in what, '09? We were battling in the
Mm-hmm.
playoffs when y'all had Yao, and Kyle Lowry was a beast even then. He just didn't get
Yep.
the recognition. Now that he's not by himself, but now that he has his own team in Toronto, everybody's seeing the type of player that he is.
I'm gonna tell you, man. Like I said, we're gonna go to football. I was disappointed with the Clippers because they didn't play any defense. I watched the Clippers several times this season, and they normally play defense. And Lou Williams was like scoring, coming off the bench scoring. He did not do that in this series for some reason. I don't know why.
I
But
can tell you why because when in 2016 Lou was on my team and Lou did nothing in that Game 7 because Lou is great in the regular season. He's flashy in the regular season, but in the playoffs, he lemon pepper and clear hills and glitter. That's his priority.
I can't. Look, K man, I can't. I'm sitting here trying to think how I can debate you on it, but I can't.
You can't.
Based on what I saw.
Oh. And one of the reasons I hated the Chris Paul trade because Pat was leaving and because Montrezl Harrell was leaving.
Yeah.
And both those players, because of the city that they're in, but they're with the wrong franchise, thinks they're stars. And Pat worked his way through like Europe. Like he a real dog.
Yeah.
Montrezl is like short for a center, but he plays hard.
Yeah.
But
He's scrappy.
they get Hollywoodified. That's a new word. And they just they become soft.
So look, that's a good segue. So I noticed this is the first topic, guys. I noticed during the week, one of y'all was upset by the deal that Robert Woods got.
Nah, we both were upset.
so
I just didn't.
you-
Kennedy
so you-
brought it. I
so-
wasn't even gonna bring it up. Kennedy brought it up.
So you think so? So in the terms of listing him as a top wide receiver, where would you guys put him? Is he top 10, top 5, or is he out of the top 10?
He should be nowhere near the top 10.
Ooh.
There were some kids drafted in April who are better than him, and they're raw.
Wow.
Like just off like two of the receivers in the first round, the top 17 picks are better than him.
Wow.
And they didn't. And last Sunday was their first game. He's not a top 20 receiver, but they don't have any picks. That's the thing about it. They don't have any picks, so they can't. Next year's wide receiver class is going to be just as good. So, but they won't have any picks, so they got to at least lock in these players because I guess they're homegrown or they know the system well enough.
Right. Okay.
Look, man, we gotta get out of this. We gotta get out of this thing of just because somebody got big money means that they're a great player. We got to get out of that. Like he's good for that system. He's a great system wide receiver. He was nothing before Sean McVay got his hands on him. Nothing. Now, granted, he was with Buffalo. He was with Buffalo before he went to the Rams. He's never had a good quarterback until now. He's got a decent quarterback, but still, to answer your question, that dude should be nowhere near the top 10.
Okay, so B, you brought up a good point just now. So how do you justify a lot of these players getting big money if they're not good players?
He helped you get to a Super Bowl. In part, I get it. For that system, in that system, he's great. Those play action bootlegs, he's great. He's not gonna beat anybody one-on-one. That's why they always put him in motion before the play starts.
Never noticed that. Okay.
They always put him in motion before the play starts. They're always running him on jet sweeps. Why? Because he can't get open on his own.
Ooh.
So no, I didn't like the deal. Just like I didn't like the Jalen Ramsey deal. You know, they just you know, they out there throwing Benjamins like it's, you know,
it's a strip club?
like they peppermints after church, you know.
Yes.
Back in the church in a little bowl.
You know, just got them for everybody. You know, anybody's welcome. So if I'm a player, I'm trying to go to LA next year to get paid because apparently you don't have to do much to get paid.
Oh man. Okay. And the reason I brought that up, man, because I thought about it last night when I was looking at it and I saw that I'm like a 4-year, $65 million deal and extension. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, I don't recall him really doing anything special during the season. I'm like, how did he get that deal? But
you know how he got that deal? You know how his deal was that big? It's called inflation.
Uh-oh. Go ahead, K-Man. Explain the trickle down there.
It is mainly, first of all, NFL deals, if you see them, are nothing. Always look for the guarantee.
Right.
Mainly what they're trying to do is everyone's trying to get their cap ready and under for 2021 because the cap is going to be around $30 million lighter because of COVID. So they're just trying to get in a better cap shape, but they're trying to lock him in, get more money now, but less money on the books for down the future. But he's not worth that money. But what's going to happen is players who are in the top 15, are in the top 20 as far as wide receivers, are going to look at that deal and they're going to tell their agent, okay, no, if he got that deal, come on, I got to get better. Look at my numbers in comparison, especially those who are not working with a Sean McVay.
Good point. So, to your point, what you said, K-Man, that's a really good point you just made. Because of COVID, a lot of these teams have to restructure their deals to look towards maybe not even 2021 season, maybe looking at 2022 season.
Yes.
Yeah. Look at what the Cowboys did. I mean, we restructured Zach Martin. I think we did. I want to say we did Tyron Smith also. We did three or four big deals that we have on the team. So yeah.
Okay, good point. Now, my next topic is for you, B-Wig. I was watching SportsCenter, and I saw
Why were you? Why do we have to keep going through this?
I like messing with Stephen A. Smith.
No lie. I did watch it because I wanted to see First Take after the Clippers lost, and that was hilarious. Yeah. But go ahead.
But look.
I'm just gonna say this. I don't like to promote other entities. But the Athletic is running a deal where all it is $1 a month, and you have access to anything you want. I mean, I know it's reading, but it's anything you want, and it's better than ESPN, better than FS1, way better than that troll network called CBS Sports.
Why you had to say I know it's reading? What are you trying to say? Black people don't read?
No, I'm trying to say y'all don't read. I love my race, but I know y'all.
Let's stay on topic. So look, my question, and K-Man, I got a topic for you, K-Man. B-Wig, this is your topic right here. I was watching ESPN, sorry. I looked at all the injuries the Cowboys had. LVE is going to be out for a while, man. How do you think your defense is going to step up and help out?
It's all on the pass rush now. It all falls on the pass rush. We just put Anthony Brown on IR, our starting nickelback. We just put him on IR for 3 weeks with a rib issue. It's all gonna be on the defensive line, and Mike Nolan. Mike Nolan didn't start bringing pressure Sunday night until late third, fourth quarter. We're gonna have to bring pressure early. We're gonna have to bring it. We're gonna have to bring pressure because we got a rookie on the outside, and Trayvon Diggs. He gave up some plays on Sunday night, but I loved that debut. I loved his debut because he was right there with the ball. He was always right there. He was never out of position. There was just some dime throws by Jared Goff. He was always in position. So, but I don't want to leave him out there on the island. I don't want to leave Chidobe Awuzie, our other starting corner, out there on the island, for too long. So we got to bring pressure. If we don't get pressure, especially tomorrow against the Falcons, if we don't get pressure, it's going to be a wrap. I mean, I know it's the Falcons, but they're still an explosive offense. They're still a really explosive offense. 300-yard receivers last week against Seattle.
True. Yeah. All right, so K-Man, after you watch your team open up, I had some issues around your quarterback situation and your defense, man. So, K-Man, what do you think about your team's debut?
Okay, so with the team debut, first thing I'm going to say, please, the NFL, stop scheduling my team as the last game of the season. It hurts East Coast fans. I mean, really. All right, so quarterback situation. I thought Drew looked fine.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, I think we said this last week. Had it not been for COVID, and they would have minicamp, they would have OTAs, they would have had a lot of. That's when you get all your reps in. You're getting to know each other. They got a lot of new pieces on that offense and some on defense, and it's just not going to gel. And I just don't believe in the first 4 weeks is going to look well. What you see in September is going to look totally different November and December when it comes to the Denver Broncos. As far as the defense, they are missing their best pass rusher, probably the second best pass rusher in the last 10 years behind J.J. Watt. And also their number one corner went out. He has a separated shoulder. He's going to be out some weeks. Also, situations, Vic didn't have a good game plan, and them crossing routes were killing us. And so they need to go in and they need to just look at the tape. Now, listening to, I hate to say this, other podcasts in the Denver area, you would think it's raining frogs or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
That's why I'm glad I live where I live, because I don't need that in my life. Because that's sports talk radio type things. And there's one, if you look at film and you look at the all 22, they had opportunities and they missed opportunities. That fourth and goal, the third and goal, that should have been a touchdown. Drew had two tight ends open in the corner. He just overthrew it.
That was my point. He overthrew a lot of those balls, man.
But you also, at those tight ends, that was Jake Butt and that was Nick Vanette. The only tight end he really has chemistry with is Noah Fant. The other one is his college tight end. It's just more reps. They need to get their timing down. And that's why I said, November. So that's also why I don't believe they're going to make the playoffs.
All right.
And shout out to Steven Gostkowski for saving his job at the end of that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he saved his job. I think he got one more week.
That's why I said, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He saved it for 1 week.
Yeah. Because if he does the same thing again, they're gonna hold him down and just slice off his Achilles. It's just like, you don't need it. You show you don't need it.
Right,
and then
look.
also, people need to stop. But people really need to stop hyping this dude because he played for the Patriots. He was a good kicker, but he ain't Adam Vinatieri.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah, he was
right.
good.
Adam Vinatieri should have won MVP in 01 and in 03. Super Bowl MVP. So, yeah.
All right. So let me ask both of y'all this one. Did you guys watch the Thursday night game?
I maybe
this one?
Yeah, Bengals versus the Browns.
No,
anniversary. I saw, yeah. I saw bits and pieces of it. It's too much orange on the field. I can't.
It's Ohio.
All right. Yeah. Look, I skipped that one, so we're gonna do this one. We're gonna look back at the past week. I'll start with you, K-Man. What stood out to you from week one? Was it a player, team, what?
So what stood out to me? One of the things that stood out to me was the Patriots. Cam's not going to last the season.
No,
because one of the reasons he ran the ball, and they're like, "Oh, he ran the ball a lot." He can't throw the ball. It's like his velocity, and like one of the things Cam has one of the poorest throwing motions, and I think over time it's just screwed up his shoulder. That's why he had so many shoulder injuries. He can't throw the ball, so their plan is to run it. But sooner or later, not every team is the Dolphins. They're going to stand you up, and so he's going to take a pounding because their offense isn't that diverse. Second thing is overreaction Sunday. I still believe the Vikings are going to be in the Super Bowl. And then lose to the Kansas City Chiefs because, the sports guys hate me. So I'm gonna leave that. The Pittsburgh Steelers, I don't know why people are hyping them up. I really don't.
Ben?
They did not look good. And
at all.
The team they played were worse. Lastly, the Jets, that's a dumpster. That is a pure dumpster.
They're gonna be the bottom.
Adam Gase won't make it past week 5. I mean, I was like, he won't make it past whenever their bye week is. They don't like him. I feel sorry for Sam Darnold.
Yeah. I B. So from week 1, what stood out for you? Team, player, what?
Russell Wilson stood out to me. I understand who he did it against, but the dude came out and completed almost 90% of his passes, over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was pretty much flawless. I don't know how his quarterback rating wasn't more than it was, but he was pretty much flawless. Also, Tom Brady's done. That's the one out of all the week 1 overreactions. That's the one that's not an overreaction. Tom Brady's finished. And it only took me 1 week. It only took me 1 game to realize the offensive line is poor. They don't pass block well. They don't run block well. Why does Ronald Jones have a job? He couldn't break off a run more than 3 yards last year. It looks like the same this year. Leonard Fournette looked disinterested in playing football. He did not look in.
He wasn't on the field that much.
He didn't look at all interested in what was going on in that empty stadium. And also, which takes me to my last point. This is going to be a weird season.
It
This is
is.
going to be a weird season. Teams that depend heavily on home field advantage, like the
Right.
Saints, like the Seahawks, like the Chiefs, like the Broncos,
Yeah.
Like the
stadiums
Vikings.
like the Vikings, stadiums that are traditionally the loudest stadiums in the NFL for good
Right.
reason. All 12th mans in the stands. I mean, it's like this. COVID is evened out the playing field. I mean, it's the only thing that the only advantage that home teams have over visiting teams is the travel aspect. They didn't have to travel to get to that stadium. Visiting teams did.
That's a good
So
point, man.
that's
So basically, what you're saying, B, is like all the teams should be basically even. Be,
well, they're not gonna, of course, not from a talent standpoint, but just from the just having that for a defense, not having that crowd noise. I mean, I can't count the amount of encroachment calls
yeah.
that I saw on Sunday because defensive linemen they were getting they were getting got by the hard count
And
because there's
look,
no crowd noise.
and look. To your point, B, I paid attention when I was watching all the games I watched Sunday. And to your point, man, nobody's in the stadium. You can hear the quarterbacks clearly changing
Yeah,
plays and making. I'm like, what the? Because it's
Not only
echoing. It's echoing through
not
the stadium.
right.
not only the quarterbacks, you can hear the offensive linemen make their play calls, their
Yeah,
adjustments. It's it's to piggyback on what B said. It's a two things stood out to me, and the next one will be on Sunday. But the Ravens game and the Saints game, that was weird to me.
Yeah.
So weird. Like the Saints won like the opening of the Superdome in '06 once again is the loudest I have
Loudest
ever
one.
seen a
Yeah.
stadium ever. They actually the fans won that game. It was so loud. And
Yeah.
it's been that way going for 14 years and to hear it in there and the pumped in noise, it just
It
and in
just
the
it's
Ravens
not the same.
in the
terrible.
Ravens Stadium, I've been in M&T Bank Stadium. It's so loud.
Yeah.
But and then so when they were making noise, I'm like, oh, and then I was like, ain't nobody here. I was like, it's so
Right.
weird. And then the next one is going to be when the Saints play the Patriots Sunday. That stadium is designed to bring noise down.
Yeah.
And
No.
and Brandon said it best. And like one of the things as a Broncos fan, I don't want to play the Chiefs in December in Arrowhead. This year, I have no problem with it.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Hey,
matter.
look. I'm gonna tell you what stood out for me, man, and y'all kind of hinted to it was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady overrated. I was to be honest with y'all, I was expecting more from that offense and from Tom Brady, but you one of y'all sent that meme with Jameis Winston saying, "See, y'all thought it was me." Man, I don't know which one of y'all did it, man, but I
No,
died off that joint, man.
That was Brandon.
I saw that one on Facebook and I was crying, man. I was crying because he had that look in his eyes. Like, I told you.
Mm-hmm. Because
fell
he
off
was,
it.
you know, he was saying that on the sideline. Wasn't me.
Right.
He went to say it's true, yeah.
Yeah.
So look, my other thing that stood out for me, man, was the Redskins defense.
Hmm.
I know what y'all gonna talk about Carson Wentz.
It's no, I don't know who the Redskins are. I don't know what that is.
I'm sorry, Washington football
The
team.
Washington
Yes.
Football Wizards. The Washington
Yes.
Football Wizards.
Yes.
But,
The,
but
the
look,
football dudes.
Yeah.
look, they had like seven sacks. I'm like, what the heck is going on with Philly? So I want to change my my picks for that division. I want to flip some stuff around.
No, I'm still keeping mine. Okay.
But like I said to you earlier, B, my only concern about the Cowboys, y'all have a lot of injuries. A lot of
Yeah.
injuries.
And
But the way Philly
but
played against the Redskins, I'm like the NFC East might let me change that. The Giants look terrible. But the NFC East is kind of wide open now.
It may that very well, may be the case. With our injuries, the more it hurts losing LVE, but the more critical injuries are on the offensive line. Like both of our tackles. Well, Lyle Collins is our right tackle. He's still on IR. Tyron Smith, he's dealing with a neck injury. Game time decision on Sunday. So we started, and credit to Mike McCarthy. I love him for this. He started a undrafted rookie at right tackle on Sunday night, simply because he outplayed everybody. He outplayed all his competition in training camp and in practice. Jason Garrett would have went with an old savvy vet just because of his pedigree and what he's done in the past. But Mike McCarthy said, no, you outperform people in practice. You're going to start. And to his credit, he survived. It wasn't a train wreck. It wasn't a disaster. He gave up some rushes at the end that had a lot to do with why we weren't able to at least get in field goal position. But to his credit, man, he held his own. They schemed. They gave him help when they needed to, and it wasn't a disaster. Now, if we lose Tyron Smith, then what you saw in the Eagles game is probably what you're going to see on Sunday in the Falcons game.
Good point. You brought up a good point. I'm going to ask both of y'all this, then we're going to go to the picks. K-Man, Brandon brought up a good point about playing veterans versus a rookie. Now, in training camp, if you see a rookie beat a veteran out, will you start the rookie or would you just go with the veteran? K-Man.
You're asking me?
Yeah.
I'm starting the best players. But NFL coaches, it's something about them. They got this thing about veterans. And because they know more about the game and everything like that, and I understand that. But sports is also based on knowledge, but it's also based on talent. Yeah. Well, Broncos did the same thing when they drafted Jerry Jeudy, number 15 overall. When he started out, he was on the second team. There's only one wide receiver on my team that's better than Jerry Jeudy. They drafted Lord Cushenberry on the third round, yet they had jabronis ahead of him until the last two. And that was one of the big things going on in Denver. Like, why isn't Lloyd Cushenberry starting? He's better than all of them. But he's a rookie, and eventually his talent wore out. But it's just it's that mindset, and it's always been there. They want to humble the rookies. They don't want them coming in with a big head. And then two is the learning. And the people who have been there know the offense a little bit better, and so it's just a thing that coaches do.
But K-Man, they always has to be hazing of the fetus. Because so Brandon, you already said that you agree with the K-Man. You would start the best player. Doesn't matter if it's veteran or rookie.
Absolutely, that was one of the big problems that I had with Jason Garrett is. Too many veterans got too much playing time ahead of young, hungry players that could have potentially helped our team, win an NFC championship last year. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I mean, like, look, I know we got to go to picks, but from 92 up until 04, the U.S. Olympic basketball team brought nothing but gold home until we got to 04. And the team was just mismanaged and put together, and they think they can run it. But one of the things that was bad on that team is Larry Brown decided, I'm not going to play LeBron James. I'm not going to play Carmelo Anthony, and I'm not going to play Dwayne Wade because they're rookies. I'm going to play Stephon Marbury.
Yeah.
I'm going to give him quality minutes. And they got a bronze medal.
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
4 years later, who's starting? LeBron, Melo, Wade.
And what happened, right?
Because I can't play rookies. Like, no. They're better than the people that you had. And for that, there's a nice little ding on USA basketball because of arrogance. And Larry Brown ain't never been close to USA basketball ever since.
Mm-mm.
Wow. All right, man. So let's do these picks, man. Well, look. My first pick, the Bengals over the Browns. I was wrong. The Browns.
Yeah, I don't know what you think about that. That's the
All right, so look, next game I got is the Jaguars and the Titans. Who you got, K man?
I have the Titans. Overreaction Sunday. Jaguars ain't that good. Like a
No.
lot of people in Jacksonville, are like, oh, we're gonna lose Trevor Lawrence. You're not. Trust me, you're not. You beat Indianapolis, who's they're gonna regret giving Baby Maker all that money.
Yeah.
Who you got, B?
You're the Titans. Yeah. I like Kennedy said, I'm not buying into the hype. Not everybody, but people were pointing to how good Gardner Minshew looked on Sunday. Mind you, the Colts talent is all on offense, with the exception of Darius Leonard. I mean,
Wow.
I could have shredded that defense. But,
So yeah,
yeah, give me the Titans.
all right,
Better
all right.
better coach, better all around talent.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I picked the Titans too, man. All right, so B Wig, Panthers and the Bucks. Who you got, B?
The Panthers.
Really? You don't really?
Look, let me view this through a clear and what's the word I'm looking for? A clear and objective lens. The Buccaneers have talent,
They do.
but that talent has not meshed with Tom Brady, and it was evident on Sunday.
Exactly. That I
While
agree
the
with.
while the Panthers are rebuilding, they still have talent. Granted, they did lose to the Raiders and John Gruden on Sunday,
Yeah.
but but you know, I like Teddy Bridgewater in this game better than I do Tom Brady.
Look, for some reason I picked the Bucks. Who you got, K man?
I picked the Bucks.
Yeah.
I picked the Bucks mainly for the simple fact that the Panthers defense isn't that good because they allowed the Raiders to score that much points. And for all the talk about the Bucks offense, the Bucks defense did an okay job against the Saints. Now I think some of it was mainly Saints timing issues, but they did a respectable job. I think they will take that and do a better job against the Panthers.
That's what I'm
And
thinking.
so that's why I'm picking the Bucks to win the game.
All right,
It's their defense that will help them get that win.
all right. So, all right, K man, staying with you. I already know who you got, man. Broncos and the Steelers. Who you got, K
I
man?
got this. I got the Steelers.
What? I put the Broncos down for you, man. You got me changing stuff up.
Nope, I got the like, hey, I'm objective. And once again, our offense isn't right there. We get Cortland back, but
Yeah, quarter Sutton back. Yeah.
he's still with the 50, he's still got the AC joint, so that's 50-50. We get KJ Hamler, our speedster in the second round. But I just the timing. If this game was week 5, I would pick my Broncos. But it's week 2, plus they're traveling. I'm going to take the Steelers.
Yeah, and Drew Lock needs a little bit more work. Who you got, B?
I like the Broncos. I think they match up well. I think they match up well with the Steelers. Now, if Melvin Gordon can hold on to the ball and not turn it over like Melvin Gordon tends to do, then I like the Broncos. I like for them to be able to get in Big Ben's face, and I'm taking the Broncos.
All right, I got you.
The only one good advantage that the Broncos had, COVID. There's no fans in the stands.
Yeah,
I beat
because Hinesville can get rowdy too.
Yeah, the terrible towels. Hey, I be staying with you. Rams and the Eagles. B, who you got?
Rams. I like them to beat the Eagles the same way they beat us. The way you beat a good pass rush is to not give them time enough to get to your quarterback.
Yeah, I picked the Rams too.
I think they neutralized that Eagles pass rush, and Aaron Donald's about to have a field day.
Yeah.
Oh,
And look,
shouts out to Leonard Floyd. We had Leonard Floyd sightings on Sunday night. Shout out to Leonard Floyd, man. He went out there. He went out in L.A. and became alive again.
all right, K man, who you got?
I got the Rams. Aaron Donald. What's Shaq's favorite saying? Barbecue chicken. He is going to have a ball. A ball. That interior
Look.
offensive line.
Look, I'm gonna tell you, man. If the Redskins got 7 sacks, I think the Rams might get about 10.
Well, no,
And all Aaron Donald.
Yeah, it would be all Aaron Donald because I mean, let's be honest, the Rams front seven is not the Redskins. Nobody's front seven is the Redskins.
Yeah, the Redskins.
I'm sorry. Nobody's front seven is the Washington Football Wizards.
There you go. We got to be correct.
The football dudes. Nobody has a better front football. Did you say gizzards?
Yes, the gizzards. That is my thing.
Oh, the carry out gizzards.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
the Washington football mumbos.
Yes,
that's what I'm gonna go with. The mumbo.
All right, K man. Start with you. The 49ers and the Jets. Who you got?
49ers.
K-Man?
49ers.
Yeah, that's who I picked anyway.
I don't need to say anything else.
You ain't gotta say nothing else, man. Who you got, B?
Man, the beating that the 49ers are about to put on that team is not even funny. They're already mad because they got beat by a midget last week. Oh. They're already heated about that. So, yeah.
It's called Little Person, sir. Little Person.
Yeah. Oh, look, I'm not even going there with that one. All right, look.
You said ginger earlier. I'm gonna say midget.
just inappropriate today.
Oh, sorry. Hey, all right, B. Who you got? Dolphins. Well, Bills against the Dolphins. B. Who you got?
Give me the Bills.
What?
They're a better team. They're a better team. The Dolphins are a mess.
Well, yeah, okay, I picked the Bills anyway too. Who you got, K man?
I got the Bills. If
What?
Cam can do that against them, broken down Cam, please, Josh Allen gonna have fun with that, and then he's gonna set him up with play action all day. Nah, I got the Bills.
Now this
that
next game
might go over 200.
Look, I'm gonna tell y'all this next game. I'm interested to hear y'all picks on this one. Start with you, K man. Vikings at the Colts.
Vikings.
The
Colts. They had something going. The Colts, the last couple of years with their coaching and their front office, but I think they made a huge mistake giving Phillip all that money, and I don't think that that money could have been spent elsewhere.
Exactly.
I think the Vikings got torched. Their rookie secondary got torched by a pro, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He ain't at his peak, but he's still up there. Phillip's not there. He won't be able to do that, and they're gonna run the ball a little bit better. Give me the Vikings. Even the offense. Even Kubiak said the offense looked like crap. So
and didn't Marlon Mack go down last week or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Who you got, B?
I was actually on the fence about this game because of the simple fact that number one, I see another shootout like the Vikings were involved in last week. I see another shootout. As over the hill as Phillip Rivers is, he's not scared to throw, and he's gonna make some play. He's gonna make some plays on that secondary.
He's gonna sling that joint.
He's gonna make some plays on that secondary. It's gonna come down to whose defense rises up the most in the fourth quarter. Because I think it's gonna be some points scored in that game. But
So
I'll take the Vikings. I'll take the Vikings.
All right, I got you. Yeah, we all picked the Vikings. All right, B. The Lions and the Packers. Traditional game, B. Who you got?
Packers. There's no reason for me to pick the Lions.
Yeah.
None at all. Their running backs can't catch wide open touchdowns to win a game in the end zone.
I know. What the heck was it? He had it right in his hands.
That's horrible.
All right. K man, who you got, K man?
I have the Packers winning. I say, how I got my. I like to say stuff about the head coach of the Houston Texans. And I'm starting now to focus my energy on the head coach of the Jets. But there's another person I got my eyes on, and that's the head coach of the Lions. And that man should not have a job. He shouldn't. In the 3 years he's been in that head coach, they fired a really good head coach
with a winning record.
And he still, in 3 years, has not amassed the same amount of wins that man did in one season, and he has 3. That team another one doesn't like him. You heard what Darius Slay said about him. That team's going to falter. Give me the Packers.
Yeah, I think he has that job because he was with the Hood for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah.
You can say that about any of his.
With the exception of Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel,
yeah.
That's a good point.
Josh McDaniels, a loser.
I mean, the reason Bill O'Brien still has a head coaching job with the Texans is because he was with the Hood for so long.
And also the owner died, and they don't the situation in ownership over there is weird.
Yeah.
All right, K-Man brought up a death on this, right? All right, so K-Man, we're gonna stick with you.
Hey, if that racist owner was still alive, Bill O'Brien be fired. Trust me.
All right, K-Man. Falcons at the Cowboys, K-Man, who you got?
I got the Cowboys. I think we're going to see a heavy dosage of an in-shape Zeke. Because at the end of the day, a lot of things are true in life. The earth rotates around the sun. Water's wet. And the Falcons are soft.
The soft-cool on us.
And the Falcons are soft. And the Falcons are soft.
Oh, snap. All right, B, who you got?
I got the Cowboys. Primarily, well, yeah, I agree. I agree with Kennedy in that the Falcons are soft. Yeah. But that secondary is trash. And we got 3 dogs at receiver. And not to mention a hungry Zeke.
Yeah, and look, K-Man, you done called several teams soft, man. That's why I started laughing. They were like, cream puffs.
I think it's one thing to be soft, like, oh, this year they're soft. Like, come on. The Falcons been soft ever since they've been. They were on that
Super Bowl?
No, Hard Knocks.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Because I remember there was this one dude. I think they just cut him last year. One dude on that team, and they just kept like he was soft, but yet he was still on the team all the time, and he was playing them. I'm like, but y'all said he was soft on Hard Knocks, and he's still soft. Why does he still have a job? No.
I B. Giants at the Bears. B. Who you got?
I'm going to reluctantly go with the Bears.
Look, just so you know, I was really on the fence with this one, man. It was like I flipped a coin. Whoever I selected his heads, that's what I was going to go with.
And this is probably going to be the boringest, ugliest game of week 2, but I'll take the Bears.
Who you got, K-Man?
Do I have to pick?
See, that's how I felt.
Like, just the Bears, I guess.
Do you know who you sounded like just now?
Who?
Patrice O'Neal. You remember the dice joke? Sean, if you haven't, go pull up Patrice O'Neal on YouTube and
HBO special.
Yeah, the HBO special. Yeah.
Something wrong with y'all, man.
It'll change your life.
Yes.
All right. All right, K-Man. The Washington football team, I finally got it right, at the Cardinals. Who you got, K-Man?
I got the Cardinals.
See, K-Man, you just cannot pick the Redskins. Man, what is
And
going
first of all,
on?
there's no Redskins. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, look, the Washington football team. And you live there.
I live adjacent. No, it's like, okay, they beat Philly because they beat up Philly.
Yeah.
It's because what was it? Was the 07 championship? Whoever the defensive coordinator, I forget it was, introduced something that I don't think we ever saw before. It's called a NASCAR package, where you have 4 pass rushers. And that's what they have. And in that 07 championship, there was a bunch of old pass rushers. I mean, Ryan Kerrigan's the oldest one. They're like young.
Tom Coughlin.
Okay, Tom Coughlin.
Yeah.
But they offense still ain't doing anything.
Exactly, man.
And ain't got nobody to cover DeAndre Hopkins. And I done saw Webster. He got wheels. He got little wheels to him. And so, they ain't ready for prime time yet. It was an overreaction. They beat a team. They are what they are. They're not trying to win a Super Bowl. They're just trying to get better year by year. And the Cardinals are probably a year ahead of them. So give me the Cardinals.
But the thing is, K-Man, you brought up a good point. They beat up on, and Brandon, I'm going to go to you next because you might chime in on this. They beat up the Eagles, which a lot of experts picked the Eagles to win the NFC East.
Is that a shot at me?
They're the same experts that said the Clippers would win the championship. The same ones.
All right, so B, who you got?
They're the same expert that said the Bucks is going to go be in the finals.
Who you got, B?
I got the Cardinals. The Cardinals are. I feel like they're a better team than the Eagles. Like Kennedy said, DeAndre Hopkins. There's no answer for him on the Redskins secondary. Shot of winning. They got those pass rushers have to be disciplined, not just flying upfield, but disciplined in keeping him in the pocket.
If they can stay in their lanes.
Yeah, if they could keep him in the pocket, they have a shot. They have a shot.
Exactly. I agree with you.
And no.
All right, so B, staying with you, man. Chiefs at the Chargers. Who you got, B?
The Chiefs by 20.
Look, this is one game I was never on the fence about. All right, so who you got, K, man?
Before I say anything, I'd just like to say that we should all, as fans, or all NFL teams should have called up the Chargers and asked them, "Hey, how do you play in front of a stadium with no fans? How do you get adjusted to that? Because you've been doing it for decades."
Oh.
And so this is nothing new to them. They're used to cricket.
Look, I hope nobody on the West Coast hears this podcast.
Here's the thing about it. Here's the thing. I'm just repeating a joke that Peyton Manning said this summer.
Oh my God.
That's why I love that man. So I'm taking the Chiefs.
Ooh, boy. K-Man. Look, you trying to get some enemies on the West Coast. You better not.
They have no fans. I have nothing to worry about, sir. I'm fine. This ain't Raiders fans who I will still make fun of.
All right. So, K-Man, I'm gonna stay with you. This game I was on the fence about. K-Man, Ravens at the Texans. Who you got, K-Man?
And by the fence, you mean that, I was on the fence looking over the Texans and knowing they stink. And go pick the Ravens? Is that what you mean by over the fence? On the fence?
So you caught my sarcasm. Okay, I got you. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, it's the Ravens. Deshaun Watson has Will Fuller who will pull a hamstring the next time he sneezes. He has Bill O'Brien coaching him. The defense is still, and the Ravens, well, they look like regular season 2019 Ravens.
I was disappointed Mark Ingram didn't get more yards, but everything else was clicking for the Ravens, man. Who you got, B?
I got the Ravens, man. Deshaun Watson got his money and he looks like it. After 1 week, he looked like a dude that just got paid. I mean, he wasn't good at all on last Thursday night.
No.
At all. There was nothing he did to make me believe that they're any closer to winning a playoff game than they were last year, or winning another playoff game, getting past the first round.
Man, so, I agree with you, B, and I think it's coaching, man. I think it's coaching.
Yeah, that's what. 100%, 110%.
Where have you been the last 2 years? I've been dogging this man every week.
I know, man.
It is not that it's just the coaching. He also makes the decisions.
Decisions, yes. The personnel decisions.
He is constantly throwing away picks on nothing. And this is why I feel sorry for Deshaun Watson, because I honestly believe that it's almost going to be like Randall Cunningham when when he was stuck with what's the name? Ryan.
Oh,
Ryan's daddy.
Rex Ryan.
Not Rex Ryan, but his daddy.
Yeah.
Buddy Ryan.
Yeah, Buddy. He was stuck with that moron, and he was just like, oh, and then when you see him in Minnesota, he's like, wow, if he'd had that when he was in Philly. And I just fear for that for Deshaun Watson because he's getting wasted with this ineptitude.
Yeah, and K-Man, to your point, man, when they got rid of Hopkins, I had to look at the article. I read the article like 2 times, and there was what they were saying dissension in the locker room. There was accusations being thrown back and forth at certain people, and I was like, "Wow!" And I said, maybe the K-Man was on to something. What is O'Brien doing?
I was the same way, and look, I get Bleacher Report notifications on my phone. And the thing about Bleacher Report is Bleacher Report will screw up a headline in an effort to get it out first before like Yahoo Sports or ESPN. And when that one came through, I was like, man, they got the wrong player.
I was like,
they didn't just trade DeAndre Hopkins for they didn't just make that trade. They did not just make that trade. Mm-hmm. And lo and behold, they made that trade.
When I saw that, I literally thought of the K-Man. I was like, I'm like, dang, Kennedy on to something about. All right, B. Now, this is the game everybody's been talking about all week because of the head coaches. The Patriots at the Seahawks. Who you got, B?
Goodness. Give me the Seahawks. The Patriots won't be able to score enough points.
I don't know. You don't think the old Cam will come out, man?
No. No.
I know. Okay,
look, the Seahawks defense is They're okay. They're kind of flying by the seat of their pants right now.
Right.
But they can still get to the quarterback. At the end of the day, I like the Seahawks offense better than I do the Patriots offense.
True that. I K-Man, who you got?
The battle of the two of the oldest coaches in the NFL. I got the Seahawks.
Look, they say it's gonna make history.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got the Seahawks mainly because one, everybody keeps forgetting the Patriots had a lot of players on defense that opted out. They played the Dolphins were inept because they had Fitztragic, and the Seahawks are just a battered football team. And Cam, what he did was fun and it was nice and that was good for him. Hey, now we're back to reality and no, sir. So give me the Seattle Seahawks.
All right, K man, we're gonna stick with you. Last game on Monday night. Y'all know who I got. Who you got, K man? Saints at the Raiders.
I got the Saints. There was parts of the Saints defense that I liked, and it wasn't the secondary. So I think they'll do enough. What Josh
Josh
Jacobs
Jacobs. Yeah.
did against Carolina won't happen against
Yeah, I don't see it against
the
our
Saints, and
yeah.
so that's going to force Derek Carr to throw. And if you're an opponent of the Raiders, you want that all day long. So give me the Saints.
Gotcha. All right, B, who you got, B?
I got the Saints. Top to bottom, just I mean my quarterback's better than yours. My coach is better than yours. My running back is better than yours. My receivers are better than yours. My defense is better than yours. The Saints are just a better team, top to bottom. It's going to be a blowout.
All
My
right,
owner is
so
better than yours. My GM is better than yours.
look,
I
before
don't
we
care
do
if
the
your
part,
stadium's new. My stadium is better than yours.
that's what I want to see the stadium. So look,
Oh, that big
look,
rumor? Yeah.
before we do the 5 minute parting shots, y'all brought up a good topic, man, a good point. So I just want to get you guys feeling about this. How do you guys feel about some of these players? It doesn't matter what sport, opting out to not play based on the COVID. Is it? Do you guys agree with some guys doing it for their family, or is it just to be safe all around? How do you guys feel about that?
Look,
Um,
whatever your motive is in choosing not to play, I'm I'm with you. I mean, this is a deadly pandemic. We're coming up on almost
Two
200
hundred
people,
thousand.
200,000 people dead from this pandemic. I have no issue. I have no problem with a player opting out. Um, there are things in this world. There are things in this life that are more important than sports. I know it's what you do for a living, but fortunately for you, you make a lot of money doing it. You could this missing this season is not going to really hurt you financially if you manage your money correctly. Um, I have no problem with it. Take care of your family if you feel. And the thing that I like about it is players are not allowing themselves to be influenced by outside voices. They're not allowing themselves to be influenced by society, what society thinks they ought to be doing, what their homies think they ought to be doing. No, these guys are making decisions based on what's best for them and
Mhm.
based on what's best for their families. And I couldn't
Right,
respect it. I couldn't respect it more.
right. All right, good point, B. So what you think, K man?
I agree with everything Brandon said. The only thing I would add to that is these little Twitter trolls, Facebook trolls, people who call on the radio questioning some man's heart or his desire. Your first duty in life is to take care of yourself, and then to your family, and that's what they're doing. It's their job. Football is a job, but long term, it's their family. As Brandon said, this is a deadly pandemic, something we've never seen before.
Right.
And we don't even know, we're just on the tip of the iceberg of this disease. We don't know the short term ramification and the long term
Long term
ramification.
effects. Yeah.
You don't, yes, some people, thousands have died, but we don't know something that could be just debilitating down the end. And this is the research come to. So, you know, this whole notion of shut up and dribble, shut up and pass the ball, shut up and hit the
That's
ball,
my point. Yeah.
whatever. Do your job as a human being, as these men are doing their job as their human being. All right, you have a family, they have a family. Just because they're entertainers, they're still human beings, and I think that's where we forget sometimes.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah, and it's been that way since slavery.
Mm.
Since slavery, they would put two of us. They would put two of us together. And anybody out there seen the movie Django, you've seen it firsthand. They would put, but that's a real thing. That's a real thing that used to happen. They would put
Yes.
two of them
Hey, I'm gonna tell
together
you.
and make them fight to the death
I'm gonna
for
tell you.
entertainment.
I just Michelle and I we just watched Antebellum. I don't know if y'all seen it with Janelle Monáe. Check it out.
Yeah, I want to see that. I
It's,
want to
it's,
see that.
Hey, look, it's you got in case you know what y'all two probably would like it because the message is like deep. You gotta when you see what's going on, you're gonna be like, oh, yeah. Because I had to read like the synopsis of it like about 4 times while I'm watching the movie. But all right, parting shots, man. We got 5 minutes. I'm gonna tell you, my parting shot is to the guy, and y'all probably know who it is. He's a dumbass. NBA who snuck the who was that snuck the girl in there? Who was that dude? Y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm
Daniel
like,
House.
dude, what are you doing?
Okay.
Go ahead, K man.
He didn't sneak a girl in. She worked there.
Oh.
And she was one of the people doing the testing. But then again, here's the thing. He was the same guy after Lou Williams got caught, said strippers over championships. And then he does that and hurts the Rockets because he was the like number 3 person and screwed up their rotation. Not to say they were going to beat the Lakers or anything, but screwed up the rotation. And yes, you thought of yourself. Everybody's going to thought, oh, James Harden's going to. No. People's priorities. And sometimes, yeah, you have to do your job. And
look, that's my parting shot, man, because that ties in what we were talking about the COVID stuff and is it safe? But he didn't think. I guess he didn't think it was safe. But hey, so K man, what's your parting shot, K man?
My parting shot is we just found out that the Big Ten is opening up.
Yes.
And what I can say about that is boo.
October 24th.
This is purely from pressure from people who don't care about these kids' lives. They care about entertainment. These were Midwestern states because it's the Big Ten. So
True.
You had your Ohio's and your Minnesotas,
Nebraskas,
and your Michigans, and Nebraska. That's Nebraska. You're the whipping boy of that league, and your coach who conned all of you decided, I'm upset we don't play. I'm like, shut up. And so I don't like it. The only conference in my opinion that's doing the right thing is the Pac-12. They're the only one.
I got you, K man. To your point, man. I got a few of my alumni that I went to St. Aug with that they played big time. They played like big time ball for Nebraska. And a couple of dudes I know that talk through Instagram and stuff, they're still in tune with the team, and they were saying that a lot of the players was like, man, F it, let's just play, man. We need to play. And so I know from a Nebraska perspective, it was like the players. Now I also heard the same thing from I want to say Ohio State, and I think another college saying it was the players saying that they want to get out there and play. And to your point, some of the parents were saying, hey, look, my kid needs the exposure because he's going to be graduating, and then he needs the exposure to get that good draft, to get that, be picked.
No one, and one of the things that annoys me the most in all this in college football is because they don't have the freedom that these players do. They don't get paid. So they need that exposure. But no one's thinking about those children and their children. Yes, they're grown age and everything, but no one's thinking about their future. They're just thinking about the now and getting a contract and getting invited to the combine. But no one's thinking about how something could get affected them when they're in their 40s and their 50s, and it's embarrassing. It's utterly embarrassing. And these so-called family members in Ohio State, in Michigan, it's sad. It's absolutely sad. You see these kids as nothing more than a meal ticket and entertainment, and you don't see them for human beings, and it's just sad.
Ooh, okay, K man. All right. So, B, what's your party shot, B?
Just to piggyback off of what Kennedy was just saying, he said it perfectly. They don't view these kids as kids. They're meal tickets. They don't view them as human beings. But that is a reflection of the leadership of this country. It's a reflection of the leadership of this country. With this whole handling of the pandemic, we have not been viewed as human beings. We're numbers. We're numbers. That's why almost 200,000 of us are dead, because they value cash, they value money, they value economy over human health.
Yeah, and to your point, B, is is that our human flaw? Is that we want wealth over health? Because when you have wealth, maybe you can get health based on how much money you have.
Well, that's what the top 1% wants. That's what the top 1% values. Top 1% doesn't have to worry about doesn't they don't have to worry about, cancer treatment and, not having access to what they needed. It's not that they don't get sick. They have the wealth to buy they have the wealth to buy wellness. They have the wealth to buy, to buy these miraculous healing medicines and all that.
But to K Man's point, K Man brought up saying, "Oh yeah, they're a meal ticket," but to both of it, isn't that part of it? Isn't that part of being able to play sports, being recognized to get that money? So you, in case family problems do come up later on down the line because of COVID, you will have the capital to pay the bills.
No, because I don't know how many student athletes play football for all the conferences. How many of them actually make it to the NFL? 10%, 8%.
It's not
The
10%. It's like between
it's like
6 and 8%.
6 and 8%. So that's 94%. They ain't making it to the dance. They're using that for education. You know, they're using
Yeah.
that to further their career so they can get a better paying job, so they can get their health insurance, so they can have to provide for their families. And so,
Good
you
point.
know, wealth, one of the things about wealth that people sometimes think, oh, I can go buy this. But it's all about, mainly nowadays, it's the true meaning is to be out of debt,
Yeah.
because you don't want to pass on that debt. And then
Yeah.
you want without debt, you have happiness and you have freedom to spend more time with that family. Go places. Just accumulate years upon years of memories.
Hmm.
And that's what I hope. That's why I wish for these kids. And I hope that these parents and these institutions aren't putting them in a place that could do long-term damage to them. That they don't get those years of memories with their families.
Yeah.
Yep. But my parting shot my parting shots were gonna be short. Shout out to all of the black QB matchups this week in the NFL. This is a
Mm,
there's a record number
yeah.
of matchups with black QBs
Yeah. Good
this
point.
year. Got eight total QBs, four matchups. So, you know, shout out to them for doing their thing on that. Secondly, if you're listening to this and you're not registered to vote, go register to vote. Go to vote.gov, vote.gov. Find out where you can go register to vote. You can register online. You can call your local elections board. They can tell you where to go register to vote. Get registered to vote. Please go vote.
Exactly. Yep.
This is the most important election
Definitely.
of our lifetime. There's early voting going on right now in some states.
Yeah.
Here in North
Virginia
Carolina,
was off the chain.
here in North
Oof.
Carolina, early voting starts October 15th, lasts through October 31st. Um, do it. Like now. Do it.
Yeah.
Because
Go.
the election is not November 3rd. People are voting right now. The
Yeah.
election is right now.
Yeah. And look,
Let
perfect example.
let your voices be heard.
Perfect example in Fairfax County. Yesterday,
I
they
saw those
say they
pictures.
were look. They were expecting 350 people, but somehow 1,500 showed up.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the?
And it was
Yeah.
more. It was more today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just like I heard a couple of people say on the news, man, people are sensing like an urgency with this particular election coming up, man.
Yep.
Yeah. Of course, man. Of course. It's
Wow. All right, man. Look, I appreciate you guys, man. Love y'all. You know,
you
and
too, bro.
we had this.
Yep.
This was a
Love you.
this was a pretty good podcast, man. So, every week I'm going to come up with some questions, man, to challenge y'all to get us to go deep. You know, just don't be on the surface with certain topics, man. We need to go deep with a lot of stuff. So
Yeah.
that's that's my task. So
That's the great thing about what we got. We don't have any bosses telling us what we can and can't talk about. So while the majority of what we talk about will be NFL related, we'll touch a whole host of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
Stay
And like I said, my thing is this season we're going to go deep with some subjects, man.
Yes, because this is a season that we've never seen before, and as we stated before, we're dealing with a global pandemic, and for some reason, the pandemic is politicized when it should not be, and sports is being politicized right now versus, should players play? Should they stand for the anthem? Should all this stuff?
Yep.
Look. Good point, K, man. You just gave us a few deep topics we're going to be talking about throughout this whole season. Yeah.
Stay tuned for next week.
There you go, man. All right, man.
Keep it locked.
Yep.
We'll be back next week, America.
Signing off.
See y'all next week.
All right, man. I'll holler at you.